1848. Mary May has been executed at Chelmsford for murdering her half-brother, and Hannah Southgate is in Chelmsford too, waiting trial for murdering her husband. The people of this area looked around wondering who else could have been bumping off their family with arsenic, and the name of Nathaniel Button came up. Nathaniel had lived here in Ramsey, and he died very suddenly in 1844, and his wife was a suspect. He was exhumed from this churchyard, and his insides were examined by Professor Taylor, the eminent toxicologist. An inquest was opened at the Nelson Inn, which is down the road in Ramsey itself. But despite spending a whole week doing all manner of horrible sounding tests on the inside remains of poor Nathaniel Button, not one scrap of arsenic was found. And William Codd, the coroner, said, "That's it, that's enough. There's not enough evidence to prosecute," and he was satisfied that Nathaniel had died of natural causes. The jury weren't so inclined and wanted to press for a prosecution, because to them, the very fact that Mary May had actually lived in Ramsey for a period, she'd married her first husband in this church, and he and some of her children were buried in this churchyard, was enough for them to think that, Nathaniel must be yet another poison victim. But if there's no arsenic inside someone, then it's very unlikely that they'd actually died of being poisoned. And it's at this point that the poison panic fizzles out in the Tendring Hundred. People were a bit fed up of it. It cost a lot of money to keep putting together these inquests, sending things off to Professor Taylor, because he wasn't a particularly cheap man. Of course, there were a couple of cases in a couple of years later, but that's another story. We need now to return to Clavering, and where the spotlight returns to Sarah Chesham.